Would you like to find out how to rent a property faster, for more money, and potentially attract a better quality of tenant using digital marketing? Keep watching to find out how. Hello and welcome to IRE TV. My name is Peter Schravemade and I'm with boxbrownie.com. Today I'd like to look at several ways that we can, or several tips that we can use to improve your property marketing. I've divided them into two scenarios. Scenario one, you're taking your own pictures yourself, and scenario two, you're using a professional photographer, because both of these describe most of the property management market. So if you are taking photos yourself, the first thing I would encourage you to do is to send out a pre-photography checklist. It's very underused around Australia, but this is a checklist that has 3 or 4 pages attached to it that if the tenant follows, the property will be shoot ready when the photographer gets there, whether that's you or a professional. So send out a pre-photography checklist. We have them available at our blog. They're free to download, they're not expensive, and it's just a simple email out. Now, obviously the tenant may not follow that, and then it becomes your job to get that shoot ready in order to get the best result. But if you can, send out a pre-photography checklist. The second point I'd make is to perfect your shooting style. So at any stage, I believe an agent should be ready to shoot a property photographically so that it's ready for market. And there are several ways to do this, or several weapons of choice, should I say. Smartphones are probably the most likely at this stage, and there are things you can get for your smartphones like smartphone lenses. Again, you can find out about those at our blog. You could upgrade to, say, a Canon EOS M5, which is a point-and-shoot camera with a wide-angle lens that's perfect for capturing an ensuite, for example. Or if you really want to splash out some cash, you can go to something like a Nikon D7200 or D7300, which coupled with a tripod and a flash will create some pretty banging photos for your listing. The third thing I would do is exactly what a property or professional property photographer would do to a listing, and that is to take the image that you've just taken and have that enhanced. So this is a relatively inexpensive edit. It comes back in 24 hours. It's when we take a grey sky property and change it to blue, or we take a brown grass and convert it to green. But way more complex than that, the actual image edit is about returning the image to what the eye will actually see when they get to the property, so that everything's crystal clear and there's no room for doubt as to what they're actually looking at. But more than that, actually enhancing an image will make you look like a rock star to your vendor. And it's actually a very good listing tip. If you drive past the property on the way, say to a listing, take a photo, enhance that image and get that on your listing presentation, you look like a rock star to your vendor when you come to list the property. The fourth tip I would have for you is to use a floor plan. If you're not currently doing it, I can't recommend it highly enough. Now, it could be really simple. You could be drawing the floor plan on a piece of paper, and I know a lot of you are scared by this, but it's really, really simple. You can just draw it out approximately, add a disclosure to it, and it looks super professional at the other end. But more importantly than that, the prospective tenant understands exactly what the flow of the property is. Probably the easiest way to do this is if your owner actually has a blueprint, take a snapshot using your smartphone, upload it to us, and we'll return it to you in a range of styles. Scenario 1 was for those who want to shoot the property themselves or have to. Scenario 2 is for those who use a professional photographer, which I would imagine is the majority of the case. So choose your photographer, whether that is someone in your area or it could be even our service. We have a book a photographer service which has been unveiled throughout Australia, where photo shoots start at the price of $69 for 5 photos. And this is largely designed to appeal to property managers. You can book a photo shoot online with Box Brownie. The photographer will turn up. They'll give you those 5 photos for $69, or they'll go up to 10 photos, and each increment is obviously differently priced. But whether you're using our photographer or someone else, the first step is to prepare the property for photography in the same way that we discussed it as if you were shooting it yourself. And that is to send out a pre-photography checklist. Now, I can't speak highly enough of these checklists. It's obviously the second time I've raised it, and you should really be using these in order to prepare the property for photography. The second is photography is just the beginning. So don't be one of those agents who just takes photos and then uploads them and hopes the property will rent. Actually look at your photography. Has it been shot correctly? Is there attention to detail edits? Or are there little things I can do? For example, twilight conversion, which is a very, very powerful edit. It's when we take a daytime photo and we convert it to twilight. Now, the statistics on taking a daytime photo and converting it to twilight are heavily in your favor as a hero shot, because they fetch up to 4 times more clicks on an aggregator like realestate.com.au. Secondly, photo editing has to be an attention to detail edit, because there will always be items that need to be removed. And as property managers, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's those messy kitchens. Effectively, you're not renting the clutter in a kitchen, so take it out of the image. And these are simple edits. They start at $5 and then they max out at $10, but honestly, get rid of those items, those unwanted items from property in order to display the property in its best possible light. The third thing I would look at is virtual staging. Not used a heck of a lot here in Australia, but it probably should be. The reason for that is, what it is to start off with, is we take a vacant image and we add digital furniture to it that looks so photorealistic you can't tell it's not there. The reason we do virtual staging is because Bill Smith, who wants to rent that property, does not understand what that space does. So by adding realistic or photorealistic furniture, we can show him or her at home exactly what that space does and how it's to be used. A very, very, very powerful post-edit to photography. Finally, there's a combination of these together. So I would highly recommend item removal and virtual staging in scenarios where the property either has dated furniture or there are things that you want to get rid of and replace with high quality furniture. So don't be afraid of taking an unwanted image. And we all know we've been into the spaces where tenants have got rubbish everywhere. Take all the rubbish out and restage it perfectly so it looks amazing. Boxbrownie.com is no subscription, no minimum use, pay as you go. You can sign up for free at boxbrownie.com by clicking the sign up for free button in the top right hand corner, and it is just pay as you go. So feel free to drop in, use us for 1 edit, use us for 2 edits, just as easy as you want. But more importantly, happy renting. Get those properties ready for the market by doing the correct edits at the right time to both decrease the time on the market and increase the amount of money that you're actually renting them for. So thanks for watching today. My name is Peter Schravemade from boxbrownie.com, and this is IRE TV.